Hi, I'm Sue Hooton. I'm the Senior Ecologist for Suffolk County Council. I joined Suffolk County Council over 20 years ago after I'd worked for 3 years in both the voluntary and the governmental sector of nature conservation. My first job was with the Wildlife Trust doing habitat mapping all the way across the county, which involved walking footpaths a lot all the year round and actually mapping the different habitats in each area. When I started with the County Council over 20 years ago, half of my job was as a storm damage officer. We'd had a big storm in October 1987 when a lot of woodland was damaged, and the aim then was to clear it all up with a big bulldozer and replant with trees. Now, maybe working with foresters, I think most ecologists would say a more subtle approach is needed, and we probably wouldn't do it how we did it then. My role is to provide expert wildlife advice and support to landowners maybe, or forestry agents. Wander around a woodland such as this, we can look at the rides, see what plants are growing there, look at the ponds. We can then work out how management can be undertaken sensitively and protect the wildlife. An average day for my job could include explaining really complex wildlife law to people in a way that means they don't get into trouble and the wildlife is protected. Something I did recently was advise a colleague of mine on a woodland play area. There was a tree that had limbs suddenly fall down, and obviously the tree had to be made safe, but the worry was that it was hollow and had bats in it. So my job then was to talk through with the tree surgeon how he was going to tackle the tree, and we actually ended up roping branches and lowering them to the ground to make sure there weren't any bats inside. So at the end of the day, children's area was safe, no bats were hurt, and everybody was happy. To make best use of my time, I work a lot with other organisations such as the Forestry Commission, the local Wildlife Trust, Natural England, and particularly on the County Wildlife Site project, where we can work with woodland owners maybe to get their woods back into traditional management. One of the best things about my job is the variety of different places I get to go to, and I really do enjoy helping people and wildlife live alongside each other. One of the difficult things maybe about my job is not being out in a lovely woodland like this, but it's sitting in meetings, working with other organisations. There's a lot of paperwork involved, and if you're out in the countryside, we get loads of different weather, so if you've booked a day out and it's chucking it down with rain, well, get your wellies and a coat on. One of the real highlights was taking part in some dormouse box monitoring. They're a really rare species. They're actually protected all the way across Europe now because they're so rare. So it was great to get an opportunity to see them close up. They're really cute when they're asleep, but boy, when they're active, they can escape in seconds. The main point, though, was to check boxes in different areas of the woodland to see which areas they were feeding in. They need different foods at different times of the year. And that helped woodland owners know how they can manage their woodlands to help look after dormice. Maybe the three most important things that you need if you want to be an ecologist is an interest in wildlife, maybe a passion about a particular species or group of animals. Experience, I think, is great. If you can get out there and help manage some different habitats, you've got a real understanding of what needs to happen to look after that. And if you can identify plants and animals, you'll be in great demand for employers because there is a shortage of those sorts of skills. You can then learn all about different habitat management at college. A small part of my job is working with schools on sort of sustainability issues. I'm an eco-schools assessor and often go into schools and help them look after their school grounds, but also get information about the countryside into the curriculum. So how you learn about different things that go on, say, in woodlands can be used in school lessons as well.